How's it going, Aquarius community? Soul Tigers here with a special story for this wonderful frequency. So let's get started with the vibe and dishing out the introduction cards. Aquarius, for some reason it seems like you are always the scapegoats to others' personal problems, when in reality all you want to do is your best for yourself and for your environment. These haters who are your real life fans can't seem to get enough of you. You intimidate others through your actions of growth and protection of your boundaries. Something that is so right in a world who loves all the wrong things. A lot of challenges you are presented with is to help you stay out of the mold of being like everyone else. Remember during tough times to pray for patience, forgiveness, love, and understanding. Ooh-wee. It can be very tough to be an Aquarius because it always seems like there's so many eyes on you, Aquarius. I don't know. It's the way you move. It's the way you go about things that attracts so much, whether good or whether bad. And just keep in mind, we have to learn how to balance out the light and the dark. Because if we didn't have the dark, then how would we appreciate the light? Ooh. So let's get started. We got a lot of things that are kind of drawn out from your past going into the present, and it wants things to clear up for the future of things. So something here with your past that you are confused on, that you really don't see as the different growths that you've had over the years, especially since you were younger. This has to do with a time of healing. Maybe this is something that you kind of hold at bay, maybe something that you really don't recognize on the truest, deepest levels of your heart. Maybe you've done a lot of healing over the years. Kudos, kudos, kudos. Something here is to keep faith. Keep faith when it comes to your different quests. The different quests that have to do with discovery. Discovering who you are as a person, as a spiritual being, as a human in this experience. Oh man, that is something here. It's hard. It is hard when you have so many challenges in life that are being brought to you by others, especially if you're in a very low frequency, a frequency that loves its shadow side, a frequency that is afraid to explore healing and explore being able to grow for themselves. Something else that we have here is perfection. Aquarius, sometimes we hold our standards to being perfect all the time. Nothing is perfect, and that's okay. That is how we learn. We learn how to get better at things. We learn how to conquer the fears. Why is there a fear of you not being perfect? That is something to go within and maybe pray about as well. Maybe it has to do with the fear of rejection from others, something that clouds up your crown chakra energy and can bring depression. It could definitely bring a lot of confusion and feeling disconnected. But in those moments, remember in the vibe, it's telling you to pray for things. Those moments are there to help you build bridges from your subconscious to your conscious, or vice versa, I should have said, to get to that inner wisdom, to get to that stronger spiritual connection with yourself and with that higher power, but also to gain the enlightenment out of the situation. And one of the things is being able to clear the fog of the facade. A lot of times when we get into these low frequency communities, there's a certain expectation of behaviors, especially when it comes to people being older. We like to look at people who are older than us as more mature, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Sometimes people's maturity level is the same as, what is it, the number that's on their shoe size. It only goes up so far. And this is something that can be hard to deal with, especially if you are on the journey of trying to heal, trying to grow yourself. So just know that the challenges here are meant for you to discover yourself, to stand stronger in yourself, and to stand stronger in your beliefs. What I'm hearing to refers to the story of Job. Job had to have everything taken from him as a test to his faith. A lot of times we will go through so many things as a test to our faith. Remember that. Remember what they say. The devil's going to play a lot of tricks. A lot of tricks to knock you off. But then there's also that one saying, make the devil cry and tell the truth. So always live within your truth, Aquarius. That is the place to be, because everything comes out of the pockets when it comes to things being washed out, cleansed out. Remember, karma's gonna hit. Karma, dharma always has its way of doing things. And the whole thing is, if you're the scapegoat to others' personal problems, blaming you may feel good in the moment, but guess what? It doesn't solve the problems. And honestly, it makes it worse for them, because instead of focusing on what they need to focus on, they've given their focus away. So remember that there's a lot of power and focus, and a lot of times people will target you to knock off your focus. Remember that saying, misery loves company. All right, I'm hearing just a few more cards. What is the last card? That's the last card there. So when it comes to the dealings of the past, with the growth energy, with the healing as well, what you've healed from, remember that you were doing it with a higher sense of purpose, with a higher sense of self, with wanting a higher sense of self, with wanting a higher sense of purpose, with wanting that unity within your faith. It was scary, it was hard, but it's something that you kept stepping to, opposed to stepping away from. And it came at conquering the illusions, the different illusions that had been played on you at a younger time in your life. Not wanting, what's this one? The Four of Needles. Not wanting you to be able to create movement and go. With the Four of Needles represents sickness. It represents stuff that is happening to your health. And this is something that was happening because there were certain passions, certain inner fires that were being put out. And it could have been by yourself, but it had to do with others as well. The illusions that others were creating. And maybe this is something that you're dealing with yet again. You have a lot of somebody trying to create illusions. This person could also want to target your energy to where they keep it stuck. So this could be a person, this could be a place, this could be a thing. And when it comes to the moment of right now, we have the Empress here. The Empress is somebody who takes care of things, but right now you're a little knocked off because there's a lot of defensiveness going on. It's kind of like you're trying to learn how to exercise all the knowledge that you've gained from your past, especially when it comes to your boundaries. But you're having a hard time because I would say with this perfection kind of thing, wanting to be perfect, not wanting to cause any ripples in the different ponds that you've walked through, the different waters that you walk through. But the whole thing is here, your eye is on the prize. That's what it is. Your goal at the end of the day is to create stability. Your goal at the end of the day is to be of harmony, is to provide, not just for yourself, but for others as well. I would say that's a personality who is very community oriented when it comes to wanting to be a good neighbor, a good friend, a good co-worker. And this is something that you try and balance out when it comes to the different things that come in and knock off this balance, that try and put you out in the cold of things. Now, so we have a few things here. Queen of Candles. The whole thing is you hide from this wisdom, this sovereignty that you've gained over the years. There's something here where you would hold yourself accountable for not being perfect, opposed to holding yourself accountable to all the wisdom, to even, it could be your instincts, it could be your intuition, the things that you have grown over the years. With the Queen of Candles, aka the Queen of Wands, she is an older queen. She has rules things with a lot of sovereignty, but also she's not really quick to react, but she will defend her boundaries. She will defend her beliefs. And this is kind of something that you don't see as really a good positive in your life. You could hold yourself back from this being a positive in your life. It's always really good to have strong boundaries. And the thing is, this is something that makes you extra defensive. If you've been on a healing journey where there's been a lot of illusions in the past in the different communities, and this is something that you grew up in, then it's gonna be a part of your journey in learning how to protect yourself, because there was a time where you had to be vulnerable because of others' illusions that were taught to you or even given to you. So just know it's okay to stand up for your beliefs. It is also okay to stand up for your boundaries and to keep those boundaries up nice and strong. A person who asks you to lower your boundaries, a person who wants to bulldoze through your boundaries, is usually not a person of good intentions. They don't have a good heart, I'm hearing to say. So keep that in mind, because think of all the times where you respect others and you respect their boundaries. Think of all the common courtesy that you give to others for their needs. Now think about how these others that you're running into odds ends with, how they treat you. Do they reciprocate that to you, type of thing? So our last two cards that we have here is the Strength card and the Page of Needles. Remember I was telling you about these others? What it is these others want to attach their delusionals, their immaturity to you. They could be looking for a reaction and upset that they're not getting this reaction. And there's something here that's really hard. When you deal with this kind of thing, it robs you of the future stability. It makes you really question things, and it really, what I'm seeing is it increases your anxieties, the restlessness when it comes to dealing with the different fears that this challenge is bringing up for you. But this is all a part of the facade of this perfection, you always having to be perfect in everything you do and never causing any ripples in this pond of a community that you're in. Oh my goodness. The whole thing is, a part of standing up for yourself is going to cause ripples. That's it. Being able to have boundaries means that you're not going to be just anybody's doormat. That's another thing too. You could be in a community where there's a lot of ill will, ill intentions, but everybody would tell you you're wrong because you bring in an opposite energy. You bring in a more harmony type of energy, a more of an open heart chakra where there's more emotional balance, where they are not demonstrating that. And that could be very upsetting to individuals who are having their inner demons bothered by you. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. All right, let's call in the angels of protection. Angels, angels of protection, please help guide and keep us safe as we navigate the block here for the Aquarius community. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing two more. What are the last two cards here? There they are. Oh, okay, so I like to go through all this. All right, we took a few more extras. So as you can see, there's a lot of tricks that are being played, and it almost seems like karma is slow to catch up, or the truth coming out is slow to catch up. That's what I got from that. So something again that you are at the most distance with is your own sovereignty, your own view, the ways that you've built things around you, how you operate within the things around you when it comes to the things that you love, when it comes to the things that you want to relate to, but also when it comes to the things that represent you. Keep in mind, Empress also represents the energy of a good parent. A good parent is supportive, but they're also present. This is why I said you have a good sense of community, and this could bother a lot of people who don't have that kind of sense to them. So a lot of things in the past here when it comes to things, you know, you've had your challenges when it comes to the different relationships around you that were not fertile. That's the thing, they weren't fertile, and it took you having to make progressive energy of wanting to be a support system, not just for yourself but for others in your community. And this is something that you didn't lose when it came to your past. There's something about you where you love to help others. There's also something about you where you've taken a good hard look in the mirror when it comes to who you want to be, who you want to see yourself grow up to be as well. And it really took being able to put down following the crowd, following others who set not the greatest examples for you in your past. And this had to do with the different relationships that you grew grew around, or even had yourself. And the thing is you went through a good bit of depression all over this stuff in the past when so much was happening and you didn't understand. And that could have been the reason why you started a healing journey, why you took time to really overlook what was going on in your life, that bigger picture type of energy. But also, instead of reacting, you went within. You went within and you sifted through yourself in a way that was nurturing, opposed to going off and wanting to challenge things. You recessed and you felt out the emotions of things. You went and felt out the things that were really negative for you. And that's when you wanted to transmute things, transform things for you. And that could have been the very thing that inspired you to have the growth, to heal. So keep that in mind when you are reflecting on the person of who you are, who you have grown in to be. So let's see what else is going on for this present moment. For this present moment, the Four of Swords again. This stuckness when it comes to things that remind you of the past, the things that you've had to walk away from. Something else is this Ten of Cups energy. The Ten of Cups energy, the thing is you are having success. It's just not the success like you see in the movies. Right now, you've been in a spot where you are meant to learn something. It could be something where you have to learn how to invest in your own confidence, in your own charisma, in your own ideals, ideologies, the things that really govern you when it comes to you wanting to be this good person. You know, keeping the faith in that, opposed to letting whoever, whatever this is, knock you down, because this could be your very test here that helps you grow the most, especially when it comes to the things that you're asking for personally. For myself, one of the things that I've asked for this year is to be able to handle conflict and chaos better. So when you ask for certain things, when you ask for to be better at patience, when you ask to be better at communication, when you ask to be better at forgiving, the divine is going to provide you with many lessons and many challenges that will help you encompass different things to help exercise what you are asking for. Do not forget that. Something else that happens here is with the Six of Pentacles. The whole thing, the facade. The facade is not everybody's going to be fair with you, even though you could be overly fair with them. Sometimes shitty people are just shitty people, and that's the way it is. Sometimes, and I was talking to my aunt about this. This isn't sometimes, and I'm going to go on a rant here real quick. And this is what I really came into when I was talking to my aunt, is we were taught to see differences. And sometimes seeing those differences are not all in a positive way. We were taught how to hate somebody for many reasons, how to dislike somebody for many reasons, whether it comes to race, religion, personal preferences. It could be just the way even the person listens to music, the way the person walks, the fact that the person wants to be nice. The fact that we just don't like the person because of the way they look. Now think of all the things that we've been taught how to divide us. It could be even over simple themes. Oh yeah, or prefaces that we like. Anyways, think about it. We have so many reasons on why we will hate a person. But when it comes to the reasons of why we will love a person, we don't have half as many. That's very true. We are quick to create hate before we are quick to create love. And that's something here for you. And that's something a part of being able to release the fog of this facade. Especially when it comes to you having to be perfect in an imperfect world. Some people are geared on their focus of being, how can I hate this person today? Opposed to waking up, how can I love my life today? And as I speak about that, something else I really want to show you is we have to be careful when it comes to this type of energy, especially when we're trying to protect ourselves. Sometimes when we don't know how to protect ourselves in that situation, we can become over dominant because we feel like somebody's trying to be over dominant with us. How can we go within and sift through things from a sovereign, progressive type of view? A view where we don't close things off, but a view where we open up. What is it that I need to learn? What is it that I need to develop? What is it that I need to explore here to get out of this facade? Oh man. And do it while looking good too. Because the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, they all like to stunt. Come out looking good. They come out looking fly. But they also are ones that can go in and evaluate the emotions to things. I know a lot of times we attribute cups as just emotions, but the wands do have those emotions tied to them too, because our emotions are tied to our very passions in life. You're very passionate about being somebody who can teach others, especially different ways of doing things. And a lot of times these others are going to learn through your reactions. Whether they're going to want to hold themselves accountable or not, that's on them. That's not for you. But what you need to learn is for you. And a lot of times it's stepping into a higher confidence when it comes to your convictions of your faith, especially in how you are moving. If you're not moving with ill intentions, if you're not moving within a closed type of heart chakra type of energy. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thank your angels, thank your ancestors, thank your spirit guides, thank divine and universal energy for that powerful message right there. All right, speaking about divine and universal energy, let's go ahead and call them in. Divine and universal energy. What are the positive messages that you have here for the Aquarius community? Oh, I love that first card that comes out. This one that comes out was also something that I seen. The whole thing is, Aquarius, you, like I said, there could have been some specific things that you have asked for to work on, to get better at, and the divine is answering you with these challenges. Do not forget that. And one of the things that I seen earlier was prosperity lies ahead. Getting fixed in the fact of what you see in your visions, with your views, with your goals for yourself. Remember, it's ahead, but we have to create that stability. And sometimes we have to get stubborn within ourselves, especially if we want to learn how to move in new ways and new routines, getting stubborn into those new routines. We all have done things where we've had to change a routine of the past into something new, whether it's getting out of hard relationships, getting out of routines that hurt our health, and getting fixed and doing something different. This is something that's here for you. Something else is, it's time to release the negativity that holds around us. I think this is why this is also in the vibe earlier, to pray. You can pray for a lot of things. One of the things you can pray for is the truth. Sometimes the truth doesn't come out in the biggest picture of everything, or in the big picture of everything. Sometimes the truth just needs to come out for you, for your understanding. But in order to do that, you have to let go of that negativity. Something else here is, we definitely have a new cycle of balance beginning. New romantic. This could be finding a deeper inner love for yourself, or this could be helping you get towards a new kind of community, a new kind of pairing in your future. But first you have to go through these challenges. And we have a few other cards here. Is conclusions are reached within. Remember that. This is all a part of you discovering yourself, discovering that inner voice, discovering that connection that you have with the divine, especially when it comes down to your intuition. You're very close to achieving your goals. Man, have you been putting in work since the past? I know, because we get hard on ourselves for not being perfect, and when we have those moments when we feel like we're imperfect, it makes us feel like we're further back on our healing journey than what we actually are. And it's at those times, dear Aquarius, that you need to pour into yourself, bringing love into the situation. Because like I said, this is all a part of your growth, discovering how much growth that you've had on this quest of faith. Because this quest of faith has meant that you've been aligning with the faith more and more throughout the years. Do not give up hope just because you're stuck in a situation where there's a lot of facade, where there is a lot of illusions, where there is a lot of negativity being brought to you by others who have ill intentions towards you. Those ill intentions of wanting to keep you stuck. Those ill intentions of wanting to create chaos for you. Just remember that even though you want to be fair, do not meet them at that level of misery, because that is only going to mess with you and your health. Remember the dreams that you've had when you first started this journey, the fertility that you knew would come about when you started to heal yourself, especially when it came to the faith of things, you holding on to faith, you aligning with the divine even more. Remember, during that time, you have been balancing the yin and yang of the emotions, of your passions, of the way that you want to invest your clarity. Oh my goodness gracious. Just know that you are going to get better at this healing journey. And a part of it is discovering that nothing's perfect in this imperfect world. Everybody makes mistakes, and sometimes we have a big fear of rejection, but do not wear that on your sleeves, because others will take advantage of it. And that is a part of the quest here, the quest where you are going to grow even more. This is a pretty amazing story right here for a pretty amazing frequency. Don't forget that. There's that saying that you know you're doing something right when you got these haters that are keep looking at you, that can't stop messing with you. That's because you intimidating them. That's what's happening there. I also have a sticker on my vehicle that says, what is it? Haters are just #1 fans. So through this all, what this is teaching you is how to confront conflicts, how to confront chaos when it comes to your external environment, but also your internal environment. And that's going to be okay, because just like in the chaoses and the conflicts of the past, it definitely gave you the motivation to become the person that you are today. Now imagine if you take all this here and you feed it to the motivation of the person that you want to be in the next 5 years from now, or even where you want to be, the community that you want to be in, type of thing. Oh yeah, because I've been in places that tell me it don't get no better than this. I've had exes tell me you're not going to do no better than this, and guess what? I'm doing better than them, and so are you. Ooh, 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 ooh. I should have said doing better without them. And so are you. Alrighty, so this is gonna conclude it, Aquarius. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your patience. And don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, spirit guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming on in and helping out. And as always, I hope that you have a most wonderful rest of your day.